that image of a people who follow Christ, who know the love of God that Christ has revealed to them. And they love each other with that same love. That image it's a beautiful and hopeful image. And we want to live in a world where we are in loving relationship with one another and with our neighbors and with the strangers across the street and in the country next to ours and in all around the world. But we don't live in that world. We live in a world where 22 people died at Robb Elementary School because an 18-year-old was so wounded in his soul that somehow he felt that the right thing to do was to kill his grandmother and kill all the children and teachers in a classroom. It's incomprehensible. It's just, we can only use labels like evil to talk about such things. In the season of Lent, we talked about bridging divides, about the things that divide us in our families and in our communities and in our congregations and in the world. There were lots of things on our list. They included everything from religion and race and socioeconomic status and education to whether or not we should be wearing masks when we go out into the world, and whether vaccines are valid or not, and just all of these things that we find to argue with one another about. And the politics of our country have become so divisive. And that's why we talked about crossing the Great Divide. And tragedies like the one that we just experienced this week, first off, they're not that unusual, sadly, but they happen because we have not yet crossed that divide. We are, as a people and as a community and as a church and as families, we are divided. That work of coming together, of finding reconciliation, of forgiveness, that work of living into this vision of love that Jesus gives us today, that is the work that we are called to. When a tragedy like the shooting at Uvalde, Texas, happens, we need to be able to deal with our own emotions that come up from that. We need a place for grief, to experience our loss. We also need a safe place, as I said in my welcome message, we need a safe place to express our anger that these things keep happening. One of the statistics I read this week was that in the United States, since 2012, we've had, I don't know what the number was, I'm mixing up my numbers, but it's a large number, like 200 mass shootings. It's probably not, that's not the right number, I know it's not, because there have been 216 children that have died in mass shootings since then. And so, and the nearest country behind us in the number of mass shootings from however high ours is, which is quite high, is Mexico with 8 in those 10 years, and ours is up in the tens of digits. We have an issue. We have a problem. We have a scourge that is taking the lives of people in our country. And it can seem impossible to fix. It can seem like there's nothing we can do as individuals or as a congregation that could possibly make a difference. How could anything we do prevent the next wounded teenager from committing such an atrocity? I just don't know. And yet, Jesus calls us. Jesus calls us to live into love and to do the work of reconciliation and the work of forgiveness. And so today, what I would like to do is to offer a time of prayer, a time for feeling the loss of all these people who have died since 2012 in the United States. A time to experience the horror and the loss of children, 216 killed in school shootings in that time. A time to mourn the loss of these 19 children that died at Robb Elementary School and their 2 teachers, and the shooter for that matter. A time to feel the righteous indignation that these things keep happening. And then finally, having been supported by one another, because we are all we have, and what we have is our love for one another and our ability to encourage one another to make the difference we can in the world, to be the change agent that the world needs. Some have called that foolishness, but we will be foolish enough to believe that our prayers and our actions can make a difference. So we will have this litany that will provide space for loss and grief and anger, and it will end with a beautiful prayer of sending. That litany is found in an insert that each of you have in the bulletins you were given on your way in. I'm going to invite our Eucharistic ministers to help lead this prayer. During the reading of the list of mass shootings, which the litany begins with, I will toll our prayer bell, and then we will continue with the names of the children lost. After we read the names, there is a section of the liturgy where there are words in italics, and these words are your words. The first one is after the line, "Give to the departed eternal rest," which Mac will read for us. We all respond, "Let light perpetual shine upon them," as written in the bulletin.
Who have died in incidents of mass gun violence in this nation's public and private spaces. 6 dead at the Wisconsin Sikh Temple. 12 dead at an Aurora, Colorado movie theater. 28 dead at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut. 6 dead at Santa Monica College, California. 7 dead at a Hialeah, Florida apartment complex. 13 dead at the Washington Navy Yard. 4 dead at Fort Hood, Texas. 7 dead in Isla Vista near UC Santa Barbara. 5 dead at Marysville Pilchuck High School in Washington. 6 dead in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. 9 dead at Emmanuel AME in Charleston, South Carolina. 16 dead at a San Bernardino, California office. 10 dead at Umpqua Community College, Oregon. 6 dead in Kalamazoo, Michigan. 4 dead at a Heston, Kansas office. 5 dead in a Wilkinsburg, Pennsylvania backyard party. 50 dead at Pulse nightclub in Orlando, Florida. 5 dead at Cascade Mall in Burlington, Washington. 5 dead at Fort Lauderdale Airport. 4 dead in Fresno, California. 8 dead in Lincoln County, Mississippi. 4 dead at an Eaton Township, Pennsylvania supermarket. 9 dead at a Plano, Texas football watching party. 59 dead at a Las Vegas, Nevada concert. 27 dead at First Baptist Church in Sutherland Springs, Texas. 17 dead at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. 5 dead at the Veterans Home in Yountville, California. 4 dead at a Nashville, Tennessee Waffle House. 10 dead at Santa Fe High School, Texas. 5 dead at the Capital Gazette newspaper in Annapolis, Maryland. 4 dead at the Fifth Third Center in Cincinnati, Ohio. 4 dead at a Rite Aid distribution center in Aberdeen, Maryland. 11 dead at the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. 13 dead at a bar in Thousand Oaks, California. 5 dead at a bank in Sebring, Florida. 5 dead at their homes in Ascension and Livingston parishes, Louisiana. 6 dead at an industrial park in Aurora, Illinois. 4 dead at a home in Clinton, Mississippi. 4 dead in Solon Township, Michigan. 13 dead at a municipal building in Virginia Beach, Virginia. 4 dead at the Gilroy Garlic Festival in Gilroy, California. 22 dead at a Walmart in El Paso, Texas. 10 dead in the Oregon district of downtown Dayton, Ohio. 8 dead on the road between the cities of Odessa and Midland, Texas. 5 dead in their home in Elkmont, Alabama. 4 dead at a bar in Kansas City, Kansas. 4 dead at a backyard football watch party in Fresno, California. 6 dead in a cemetery and kosher market in Jersey City, New Jersey. 6 dead at Molson Coors Complex in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 5 dead at a convenience store in Springfield, Missouri. 5 dead in the northeast side of Indianapolis, Indiana. 8 dead at 3 spas in Atlanta, Georgia. 10 dead at a grocery store in Boulder, Colorado. 4 dead in an office complex in Orange, California. 5 dead at a home in Rock Hill, South Carolina. 9 dead at a FedEx facility in Indianapolis, Indiana. 7 dead at a birthday party in Colorado Springs, Colorado. 10 dead at a rail yard in San Jose, California. 4 dead at Oxford High School in Oxford Township, Michigan. 5 dead in Lakewood and Denver, Colorado. 5 dead at the church in Sacramento, California. 6 dead in downtown Sacramento, California. 10 dead at a supermarket in Buffalo, New York. 22 dead at Robb Elementary in Uvalde, Texas. Alexandria Anaya Rubio. Alethea Ramirez. Amory Jo Garza. Annabelle Guadalupe Rodriguez. Ileana Cruz Torres. Ileana Eli Garcia. Eva Mirales. Irma Garcia. Jackie Casares. Shaila Nicole Siguero. JC Luvenos. Jose Flores. Leila Salazar. McKenna Lee Elrod. Maite Rodriguez. Miranda Mathis. Nevea Bravo. Rogelio Torres. Tess Marie Mata. Uzia Garcia. Xavier Lopez.
Give to the departed eternal rest.
Let light perpetual shine upon them.
All those who have died in any incident of gun violence, give to the departed eternal rest.
Let light perpetual shine upon them.
For survivors of gun violence, give them comfort and healing.
Hear us, Lord.
For those who have lost loved ones to violence, for those who die by suicide using guns, grant them forgiveness and peace.
Hear us, Lord.
For those who die every day by violence, help us to end the scourge.
Hear us, Lord.
For those first responders who care for victims of gun violence, protect them and strengthen them.
Hear us, Lord.
For the executive staff and persons of the National Rifle Association, Wayne Lapierre, Chris Cox, Kyle Weaver, Kaney Robinson, Dana Loesch, Chuck Norris, Colleen Knorr, Oliver North, and Carolyn D. Meadows. Give them hearts that feel the loss of each victim of gun violence.
Hear us, Lord.
For all our brothers and sisters who are opposed to changing gun laws, help us remember that they are not demons, and more than we are, and that we too want to keep children safe. Reconcile our family.
Hear us, Lord.
For the grandmother of the shooter, grant her peace.
Hear us, Lord.
For the perpetrators of the shooting at Robb Elementary, Salvador Rolando Ramos, heal his broken soul.
Hear us, Lord.
Lord, have mercy.
Christ, have mercy.
Lord, have mercy. Lord, make us
Instruments of your peace.
where there is hatred,
Let us so love. Where there is injury, pardon.
where there is discord, union.